All right, we're getting it moving and grooving. All right, so love you guys for being here. First favor I'm going to ask is for you guys to show your cameras. I know, boo, we don't have our makeup done. We don't have our hair done. We weren't ready for this. We weren't expecting it. We're busy. The house is a mess. I get it. I totally get it. But in order for us to have a true energetic exchange and to have the community that we are seeking so much of, it's important to just show your face on the camera. I want to be talking to real human beings. I want you to connect to me in the way that I'm connecting to you. And so it's super important that you just do that. But let's go ahead and dive in because we only have about 30 minutes today, a little bit less than 30 minutes to get today. Thanks so much for showing your camera so I can see your pretty faces. Love to see you guys here. Why are we here today? Because today is all about rewriting your life's story. I made a post on my socials, I think last week, that was talking about the only way, truly the only way to break old cycles and unhealthy patterns is to make sure that you are shifting your identity. And how do you shift your identity? How do you create a new identity for yourself? You have to start retelling your life story in a way that is the more evolved, more mature, more awakened and aware version of you. And who is that version of you? The version that's sitting here right now watching this. You are the most intelligent that you've ever been. You are the wisest you've ever been. You are the most evolved you've ever been. You are the most grown you've ever been. You are the most experienced you've ever been right here, right now. And it's about time that if you haven't already started to rewrite your life story in a way that's going to better serve you. And so we're going to break some things down for you today. And hopefully you guys are taking notes because it's super important that you guys aren't just ingesting this and like consuming it through osmosis, but you're actually writing things down in key parts that really stand out to you. Be active in the chat, communicate with one another. That's also a super important element of making sure that we are maintaining this precious community that we have so that we can hear each other's insights. If something really stuck out to you, or if you're going to start implementing something right after you're watching this live stream, I want you to let us know what that is. And then we can piggyback back and forth about what your thoughts are, what your inspirations are, what your realizations are. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my notes here. I want to ask you right now, what is the current narrative that you've been telling yourself? And how much of that narrative has been given to you by someone else? Has it been given to you by your parents? Has it been given to you by your kids? Has it been given to you by your clients or your employer? Has your own story of your life and who you are and how you're showing up in this world been told to you by someone who used to abuse you, by an old partner, whether that was a very loving and healthy relationship or not? Is it a brother or a sister, a family member, some sort of friendship? Was it a healthy friendship, a toxic friendship? No matter what it is, what are the key components of your narrative that you've already been telling yourself that you know 100% is not serving you all the way? Maybe some aspects of the story that you're telling yourself is super helpful, but the other aspect, like what are the ways that your story is holding you back? And is there a way for you to become aware of that? Because a lot of the times that we have limiting beliefs, we don't even know that they're limiting beliefs. A lot of the times that we have energy blockages or mental blocks, we don't even know that they're there. We can obviously say, okay, there's an issue going on with my life when it comes to my wealth or my relationships. But a lot of the times, if there is something that's been in the background on autopilot, replaying over and over and over again for a long amount of time, it becomes something that is in your subconscious mind. And it's almost like the unconscious state where you're not very aware of it, but you're still programmed to function in that storyline. You're still programmed to make decisions off of that or take action off of that or put more attention to one place over another off of that storyline. So it's so important that the biggest takeaway today is understanding how much of your life story is actually created by you and if it's outdated or not. Okay. So with that being said, your narrative and the story that you've been telling yourself is your self-talk. So when people are saying, oh, I have so much negative self-talk, or I should be kinder to myself, I should give myself more grace, I should do this, I should do that, it all comes down to that self-talk. It all comes down to what you're telling yourself every single day, not only just about your life story, but who you are, how you show up, what your personality is, what your character is, what your morals are, what your values are. right? So it's very important to understand that as you are rewriting your life story, as the more matured, centered, and awakened version of you, that you are at the same time helping yourself have a more positive and healthy self-talk relationship, because that's all it really is. I always stress that every single version of you can be personified, and you should have that bit of a separation. Sometimes when people are like, oh, I have these shadows, or like, I have these demons that I'm facing. Okay, well, what's your relationship to those? What is it? Is it that you run away from it? Is it that you hide from it? Is it that you're always trying to use substances to try to numb it? What is it? Can you personify it and create a healthier relationship with that? Just like you would create a healthier relationship with your inner child, just like you would create a healthier relationship to your future self, a healthier relationship to your higher self. It's time for you to take a look at that self-talk and create a healthier relationship with that self-talk. And it all comes down to you retelling your life story in a way that is going to better serve you. And we're going to talk about how we can actually anchor in to that vision of ourselves. Now, a lot of you who've been in this free community for a couple days, couple weeks, have already started creating your self-healing vision and your self-healing game plan, which is amazing. And in that, it's all about you creating this version of yourself that you know that you can be, because it's like, we're not creating something that's like super freaking far-fetched. And if you are, then kudos to you. But typically you are creating that version of yourself that you know is already inside of you. Whatever your heart is telling you that you desire is meant for you. And it's only a matter of an identity shift in order for you to get to that point. So I want you guys to kind of play around with that concept a little bit more and think about that vision that I have for myself. That self-healing vision is already within me. What do I do with that? It's not, oh, I have to do this and do this and do that and do that. Does it require action taking? Yeah. Does it require you shifting your beliefs? Yeah. But in general, it's really just about the identity that you believe that you are right now, and then the identity that is that one version of you, and how can you energetically within your own being show up as that version every single day. It takes you having that clear as F version of you and vision of you. And if you're someone who is still like, my vision is that I want to be less anxious, my vision is that I want to make $100,000 a year, is your vision still wanting something? Is your vision still you manifesting something? No. If you get to that version of yourself, will you have new goals that inspire you? And will you have other things that you want to reach? Absolutely. But if you are currently creating a new vision for yourself, you better be writing that vision as, I wake up every single day feeling so impressed by myself and so acknowledged and so like grateful and so responsible and so respected by everyone in my life. I feel like every single day that I am navigating this world, I have complete clarity and sharp intuition to where when I'm navigating challenges, it comes to me as fun. It comes to me as a breeze, because I know that if I'm experiencing a challenge and I get past that challenge, it's only making me stronger. So every single day I move forward in this life, I feel so grown, so evolved, so mature in my spiritual aspect, so mature in my emotional aspect, so sharp in my mental aspect, and so revitalized in my physical aspect. That is a lot better of a freaking vision and a lot clearer of a freaking vision than not having anxiety or not having depression or wanting to manifest a certain dollar amount or wanting to manifest a certain type of relationship. So we already went through a lot of that self-healing game plan and that vision, but it's going to be something that I bring up in every single one of these live streams, because I never want you to forget what your actual vision is of yourself. It's so easy to get comfortable in your discomfort. It's so easy to resort back to the ways that you have been conditioned to be, because it's a habit, because you've been repeating it frequently and frequently and frequently and frequently, and that becomes your narrative. That becomes your lifestyle. But I want you to think about, what is the lifestyle that I actually prefer? And what kind of identity shift within myself is it going to take for me to actively embody what is already inside of me? You guys are not reaching for this future version of yourself and bringing them closer to you. You are allowing. It's already here. It's literally inside of you, that's how close it is. And I want that to be a realization and a shift that you have right here and right now as you're listening, because it's not about always taking and reaching and striving and uphill battles. And it's going to take so long. And it's another day. And oh, I'm so tired. I think I'm going to give up. No, it's okay. I had a dream that I was that version of myself. So I'm not going to give up. Like, yes, sometimes it takes stamina and patience, but it really is all about the stamina and the patience of you allowing and having that breakthrough come from within. It's like your vision of yourself is that lotus flower, and all it takes is for you to blossom. It doesn't take for you to go and search for the flower and pick it and then make a beautiful bouquet and have it in your home. It takes you being that flower and blossoming and evolving and breaking through, okay? And shifting and allowing and receiving, okay? And being and embodying and believing and creating that life story, that new life story. Okay. So what I want you guys to do after this live stream is sincerely write it down for yourself first. And if you feel like sharing it with everyone inside of the free community, then absolutely go for it. But I want you to sit down and literally write out, okay, it's going to be a long process, and it's going to probably include some sort of shadow work, but I don't want you guys to get so hung up on the shadow work when it comes, because I want you guys to create a more positive story of yourself. So whether that looks like a comic book, whether that looks like a poem, whether that looks like your life's movie, whatever it is, whether that looks like a novel, whether that looks like an essay, I don't care how you dress it up, but I want you guys from birth to write your story. And it might take a while. You could do it in eras. You can do it in decades, 0 to 10. This is all the things that I was so amazing at doing. This is what I conquered. This is what I overcame. Because I want you guys to look at yourself as your own hero. What are your superpowers? What superpowers did you have to develop to be able to shift and break through certain things of your life that you wish never happened? Right? There's a lot of things that we wish never happened. Not that we have many regrets, but we're like, damn, like, why the hell did that have to happen to me? And I was only 6 years old, like, poor me. But what if it wasn't poor me? What if it was like, damn, me? Like, I did that? Like, I cannot believe I just low key did that. And not even low key, but like high key. And like, whatever you did to shift out of survival mode, whatever you did to break past that unhealthy relationship, whatever you did to reach that one goal, to get that one job, to be able to sustain your life, to be able to support yourself, to be able to raise your kids. What did you have to do? What did you overcome? And look at the positive aspects, because we spend way too much time in our human computer brains troubleshooting all the things that have been going wrong and focusing on all the things that were going wrong. But if you were going to take that much time of your life to keep harping and honing in on and giving the time, energy, and attention to all the things that were going wrong in your life, shouldn't you give yourself the grace to do the same exact thing for the positive things in your life? Okay. I remember when I was growing up, more in like my teenage years, I was like, I wish I was never born. I was born sad. I was born sad. Every single day I'm sad. And even when I'm happy, I'm sad. Like, I literally told myself that every single day when I was a teenager. And it creeps up into my early 20s as well. I'm sad. Sometimes I'll have moments of being happy. Sometimes I'll be, thriving in my social life, but like, there's always that one thing that's lingering. It's like this one song that's in the back of my head that will never get out. And it's always telling me that I've always just been someone who's sad, who's meant to be depressed, who's meant to be anxious. I can never shake it off. What the heck kind of story is that to tell myself? What the heck kind of story is that to tell myself? Because I was only giving the time and attention and energy into the things that were not going well. And it took me years to figure that out and to have that awareness. And hopefully it just takes you today, if you haven't been aware of it yet, that this is waking you up. But it took me years to even have the awareness. But once you have awareness of something, you have the ultimate and complete power to change it. If it's unaware, if it's unconscious, hard, a little bit challenging, not going to lie, right? Can't see it, blind to it. But the more that you become aware of something, and the more that you actively choose to take an action or disrupt that pattern, or to create a different storyline for yourself, or to have different kinds of self-talk for yourself, to move differently, to embody differently, that's when you're going to see a change. And the more consistently and more frequently that you can do that and keep that vision of yourself of where it is that you actually want to go and who it is that you actually want to embody, the more permanent it's going to be, the longer lasting it's going to be. Do people become aware of something, try something for a little bit of time, and resort back? Yeah. That's why I always ask you guys, are you comfortable in your discomfort? Because at the end of the day, even if you resort back, That's your body's way of saying, oh, I want to go back to what's natural. I want to go back to what's normal. But you can recalibrate what the hell is normal for you physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually every single day. You have to have that kind of tenacity. You have to remember what your vision is. You have to remember where you're going. You have to remember what you're destined to be, what you're fated to be, who you truly are, your authentic essence, your genuine essence, your spiritual essence, your higher self version of yourself. Okay? So I want you guys to truly, truly keep that in mind, that wherever it is that you're going, again, it's not a hop, skip, and a jump away. It's an identity shift away. It's an awareness away. Okay? It's a consistency and repeated frequency away. Going back to rewriting that version of yourself, starting from 0, you can do it in decades, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 plus. Okay? And break it down into those chunks of all the things that you were able to conquer, overcome, and hurdle through. All right. Now I want you, after you've done that process after this live stream, to create the storyline that's going to get you to your future self. So that vision that you're having of yourself, what is the story that gets you there? And what's fun about this is that we don't have a reference point for this. It is completely imaginary. And that is the secret sauce of life. That is the magic of life. Believe it or not. When you see people and you're like, oh man, they got that secret sauce. I'm jealous. Oh wow, that person looks so happy. Ugh, I'm so jealous. I wish I had that. Oh, they just have the perfect husband. That's why they're so happy. That's just crap we feed ourselves all the time. That person just has that essence. Things just come easy. No, they decided to embody who they truly were, and they decided to become more aligned to their highest version of themselves. And not only that, they imaginary their way there. They imaginary their way there. That's the magic. That's the weird, ethereal, esoteric, freaking energy that we all have innately within us. Okay? And one thing that I want you to keep in mind as you are writing this imaginary fairy tale of what your future is going to be that will allow you to get to that vision of yourself, every single step that you're going to take, self-healing game plan, right? Every single step that you're going to take, all the emotions that that one version of you has, right? Maybe it's a safety, security. Maybe it's them just feeling calm and peaceful. Maybe it's them being more positive. What is the mindset shift that they have, right? What is that vision of yourself? What are they thinking every single day about themselves, about the world? Okay, internal, external. What is that version of you thinking? How is that version of you acting? How are they behaving? Like, what are their literal habits? Do they wake up the same as you? Do they have the same routine as you? Probably not. I'll be honest. They probably have a way different routine than who you are right now, and that's fine. But that's why we work little by little, because it's so hard to wake up every single day and say, okay, I'm going to work on myself today. I got to remember to do this, that, and the other. I got to do this. Can't forget it. That is already coming from a place of disempowerment. That's why people are inconsistent in their healing journeys. That's why people are inconsistent with anything that it is that they set their mind to. But if they were to take a look at and say, today I'm waking up and I am being that version of myself, what routine does that version of myself have? What do I assume that they would have? What do I expect that they would do every single day? Physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Just always go back to those 4. That's why I always teach it, because it's the most important, because it's the easiest to reference back to. Whenever you get confused or feeling lost or disempowered or feeling like you're wanting to crawl back into that comfort, what would that version of me think right now? What would they feel right now? How would they get out of this? How creative could they be to switch out of this energy and to go into that energy that they always are in? Like, I want to bask in that and I want to be that. And you have to actively embody what that newness is. And that's how you get to that point. You have to create that game plan. You have to create the vision. And then you have to start taking the action. And then you have to start assessing what your mindset is and what your emotions are. And I guarantee you, every single day that you wake up and you ask yourself how to embody that version of yourself, you will start to be emotionally and mentally healthier. You will start to feel emotionally and mentally much better because you have this kind of like, it's a different energy. It's a completely different frequency that you're tapping into. And a lot of the times it's a higher level consciousness kind of energy. And when you're there, it feels good. Just like when you're in a meditation and you're like, okay, bliss, nirvana, higher self, source, and you're feeling so good because it's a higher frequency. You can bring that into your physical, tangible reality. And then you're going to start like living that with your eyes awake instead of closed and secluded with no one distract me. Mommy's meditating, right? It's no longer that. It's, oh my God, like I'm feeling jazzy today. Let me put a little bit more music on. Let me actually go outside my house today and like go somewhere a little bit new, try new cafe, because that's the new version of me, right? That's the new version of me. And you literally feel happier. But the times that you wake up and you're like, oh, like I was that version of me yesterday. I don't know if I got it in me today. Well, if you just chose that version of yourself and you actually just started doing it in the middle of it, you would start to feel a lot different. It's really the conditioning. It's really the forming the new habit. Oh, but let me tell you something. The more consistently you do it, and I'm going to repeat this over and over again, you build momentum. And with more momentum comes ease. And so if you're sitting here and you're waking up and yesterday you were that version of yourself, today you don't really feel like being that version of yourself. Tomorrow, you're back to square one. It's going to be so much harder. And I don't want this to be a process for you where every single day you're starting from ground zero, where you're starting from square one, because that's hard. That's hard. Sometimes you'll get it 4 days in a row and then you stop. And then you got to do it the next day. And you're like, oh my God, I was on a roll and now I'm not. Same thing happens when you work out. Same thing happens when you exercise, or that's the same thing. Same thing happens when you're trying to eat healthier. Same thing happens with every single thing that you're trying to be consistent in. But the more consistent you are in it, the easier it gets because you've built the momentum. You've built the momentum. Okay. If you're trying to like, say, jump on a trampoline, that very first jump you have, it's not going to be 10 feet tall. It's not. It's going to be like a little bounce, barely moved, right? And then you keep bouncing and you get a little higher and you keep bouncing, you get a little higher. And sometimes those bounces, you're like, oh, if I bend my knees more and I reach up higher to the sky, I get a little bit higher. And then you keep doing it and doing it, and you do it so many times that 10 feet tall is like, I'll go 20. I'll go 40. I'll go 50, right? And I say that not to break your necks on a trampoline, but I say that as when you are actively choosing to keep going and going and going and do it now and do it now and do it now, do it today, do it today, do it today, do it today, instead of, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I don't really feel like it, you're going to start from ground zero again and you're going to lose that momentum. Okay. I don't want you to lose momentum because momentum is what makes it easy. The last question I'll ask for you today is, what is it that you need? What is it that you think you need to start embodying that version of yourself today? Today, after we get off this live stream, today. Not, okay, I wrote this all down. I'm going to rewrite my story. I'm going to figure out my future story. I'm going to do this today. And tomorrow I'll start. No. You are already going to be embodying that future version of yourself by rewriting that story, by figuring out what the future storyline is that's going to get you there much faster, much quicker, or at least where you have that tunnel vision to get there. And then what are you going to do after that? How are you going to embody them today? Today. And I want you guys, if nothing else, I want you guys to write that in the free community. Today, I am embodying this version of myself by doing blank, by thinking blank, by feeling blank, by connecting to blank. Okay? That's what I want from you guys. Now, before I end off this whole entire thing, I want to open up for questions. If you guys have any, you guys are more than welcome to ask them in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and read some of these chats right here, right now, while you guys do that. We have Sam that says, hi there. Do you mean our belief system? What is the narrative? Our entire life story? Absolutely. What is your belief system? But more specifically, what are your beliefs about you? About you. About you. And I want you to start writing you as the character, as the hero of your own story, based off of what you think about yourself and you alone. I don't care if your husband's like, you're the greatest wife in the world. And you're like, okay, well, my belief is that I'm the greatest wife. No. Are you the greatest wife in the world because your husband told you that? Or because you actually believe that and you're telling yourself that? I want you guys to think completely on your own and be super creative with it. And don't over critique yourself. Don't be overcritical. You had too much time of your life doing that already. I want you to empower yourself by your beliefs. Okay? It is truly life-changing when you do that, because there is always that version of yourself that knows the truth. And this is how you can tap into that. Even if you have to ask your higher self, like, okay, years 15 to 17 were rough as hell. And I don't think I was my favorite version of myself. But like, what do you think about who I was in that time, 15 to 17? And ask your higher self. Your higher self, your spirit self is going to have the divine truth. And that's what I want you to connect to. And the divine truth is what I want you to rewrite your life story with. I want you to rewrite it with that kind of energy. Great question. Be as kind to yourself as you would be to others. Be as understanding to yourself as you would others. Treat yourself how you want to be treated by others. Yes. Bask in the momentum. The momentum should be addictive, not the negative talk. Absolutely. Consistency. So this is a cuss word and my biggest hang up. What are some ways to become consistent? A checklist. Whatever works for you. And I know that's like a cheap way of like well, whatever works for you, bye. But like, no, truly, like whatever works for you. I'm someone who, I'm a list girl. I'm a list girl. I like it. I like to go shh, and like take that out, or on my notes app, delete it. It's gone, poof. But I also have to make sure that because I'm a list girly, if I am eliminating things from my list, I'm not right in that moment, okay, what's more that I could put on my list? Because then I'll like overdo it and overdo my part. Don't overdo your part. I want you to move in this journey for yourself so you can get places and you can stop being complacent and you can stop being comfortable in your discomfort. But I don't want you to bite off more than you can chew to where you don't want to continue to build the momentum of the process. Okay. So like I was saying with the trampoline, you jump a little bit, you bend your knees a little bit, you don't really get anywhere. I don't want you to be like, this is my first jump on the trampoline. And you're just reaching your hands up and you're trying to go as low as it's too much. You're overdoing your part, overdoing your part, overdoing your part. Just like if you're trying to learn how to ride a bike, or if you're starting to ride a bike, you don't get on the bike and go, ah, like you're going to fall right off, right? And you're going to get hurt and it's going to suck. You're going to hit the floor. I want you to take that bike and be like, all right, here we go. Okay, we're balancing. All right, okay. When I'm feeling comfortable, I can pick up that momentum, and do it naturally. That's how you can have a pace with your self-healing journey, but you are not going to fall flat on your face because you're biting off more than you can chew. As a matter of fact, my best friend, I love her because she's going to see this replay eventually. She was like, okay, I want to sign up for this free community, but I want to take a week to just like be alone. And then I'll get into it because I don't want to dive all the way head first and then fall off and then you kick me out. And I'm just like, okay, okay, take your time. If you need to mentally prepare yourself for it, go ahead. But what I'm actually about to tell her in like a little bit is like, is that week alone going to serve you in that vision for yourself? And is there a way that you can tell yourself that if you join this free community within the week instead of after a week, if you can just pace yourself while you're doing it? Because maybe for them specifically, pace is just an issue where, oh yeah, you get that moment of inspiration. You see someone who's like, oh, they're fit. I want to exercise every single day. And I want to be just like them. And then the next day you're at the gym and you're doing everything and then you just throw up and pass out and die. Like, that's not what we want. We want you to take it at a pace that is sustainable for you. And even if that looks like, oh, that version of me, I know that they do this, that, and the other. When you come out of this live stream, do I want you to do all of this, that, and the other? No, you could take just this and that, or you could do all of those, but in very, very small chunks. I did a little bit of this, a tiny bit of that. Oh, that felt good. I'll do a little bit more tomorrow. This a little bit and this little bit. And then now I've hit all my marks and I can relax. Great question. Let me see what else is here. So we rewrite our story until this point and then write how we get to our vision, right? Yep, Courtney, you got it. Do you know what planet / placement could help with consistency? Not off the top of my mind, because I'm not too much into being an astrologist myself. So I don't like have that kind of wisdom off the top of my head, but I will definitely check it out. Or if someone has the answer to that question, maybe they already answered it. I would definitely see what that is. Because that would be a great kind of thing to just have. But I would definitely say always use your elements, right? In general, always use your elements. So what is the element of consistency? Earth. Earth would be the element of consistency. So if you need to embody earth to be consistent, then go ahead and do that. I started looking for glimmers a few weeks ago and I felt the shift. Beautiful. Of course, I want the express lane version, but I know I miss out. Pace it. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Bite size. Absolutely bite size. Take it one day at a time. And that doesn't mean to say that every single day that you're doing a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, that it stays that little bit. You're growing your stamina in your self-healing journey. You have to grow the stamina. You have to grow it. You have to get to that frequency and be like, how can I sustain? Because the worst thing is for me to tell you, go for it all, you guys. Well, I'm going to say go for it all, but go for it all and use all your energy and you're going to get so like brain dead. You're not going to want to do it. It's not going to feel fun. I want you guys to do it in a way that feels fun. I want you guys to do it that you're like excited to do it every single day instead of waking up every single day and like, oh, I have to do that one self-care routine. No, you get to do that one self-care routine today. You get to do it. Oh my God. You opened your eyes today. You're breathing today. You have food, shelter, and water today. You have love, comfort, and support today. You have motivation today. Okay? You get to do it today. You get to do it today. Praise be, right? You get to actively freaking do it. Love it. Okay. Last thing that I want to say before I take off for you guys. First, as always, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you for asking your questions, being active, being engaging, showing up for you. Okay. Showing up for yourself, loving yourself so much in a way that you are doing the work, whether that is just consuming, and then action taking, or consuming and then action, consuming and then action, consuming and then action. Okay. Thank you so much for being here for you and showing up for yourself, because the more that you do things like this, whether it's over on my account in my communities or others, the more that you do that, the more that you're giving yourself evidence that you're here to support you, that you're prioritizing you. And what will build from there is self-trust. And the more self-trust you have, the more self-confidence you have. And when you have more confidence, it's easier to embody. It's easier to embody yourself, your truest, most authentic version of yourself, and the future vision that you have for yourself. And the last thing that I want to say for you guys today is that if you're loving this free community and you're like, I want more though, like I'm loving this and I want to be more consumed in this kind of energy, consumed in these kinds of teachings, or I'm actually wanting to hit my goal date, my end date for myself, for my vision. I have a self-healing game plan. I have this vision. I have this end date, but I'm not 100% sure if I could do this by myself or with just like these little weekly live streams. You want more? Then I have two very important suggestions for you that I just want to plant the seed in so that they can grow for when you're absolutely ready to take on the world and to take on your self-healing journey. The two options, we're going to start off with the Reiki Renewal Program. The Reiki Renewal Program is a 4-week immersive course that's completely self-paced, but I want you guys to still do it week by week by week to get that momentum built, right? That goes over in depth and in detail how to bring peace, harmony, and balance into your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. First week is physical. We go over all of the energy centers that correlate to the physical body and your physical well-being, starting from the vessel and the material vehicle that holds all the other parts of your energetic body. Then week 2 is all about the emotional body. How do you actually tap into your emotional body? How do you find emotional balance even when you're experiencing overwhelm? How do you actively release the emotional wounds that are old from old traumas, old triggers, old storylines, old timelines? How do you actively release that in a way that becomes so comfortable and on autopilot for you that there's no such thing as an emotional blockage for you anymore, because you know exactly what you need to do to work through it in a healthy way? Third week is all about the mental body. How can we reprogram these subconscious beliefs? If our subconscious mind rules 95% of our autopilot and our external reality, and only 5% is the conscious mind, what can you do to get into the subconscious straight away? and then start to make those changes, make those shifts, and then start to actually see that reflect in your external reality for you. What's the mindset that you need to have to get to that point? And how connected are you to that mindset on a daily basis? How effective can you use your thoughts? How effectively can you use your thoughts to get there? And then lastly, it's a spiritual body. How do you connect to your higher self reliably, where you understand what your intuition is actually telling you? And you're not just like, oh, 1111, that's great. But what does that mean? Right? What are the synchronicities actually telling you? What is the language of your intuition? And are you receiving it through all of your senses, not just one or two? Okay. That spiritual body is all about learning exactly what kind of energies to call upon that are benevolent energies that help you, instead of just saying, oh, any angels out there, please help me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Any beings out there, help me. Whoa, ah, ah, ah. Ancestors, I call upon all of you to help me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Why is it not great to just call upon any sort of energy to help heal you? Because not all energies are here to help you. So you're going to learn exactly how to call upon the right ones for you, how to call upon the ancestors that are here for your highest good, right? And then meditate in a way that is so effective for you that not only are you just kind of maybe escaping reality just like a little bit, but you're actively using your meditation to change your life and to feel whole and complete and at peace within yourself. That is the Reiki Renewal Program. If you have any questions about that, I want you guys to DM me after this live stream and I'll set you up. There's limited spots available every single month because I want to make sure that I'm monitoring people. Even though it's not going to be like a live thing where every single week, hey, I'm here live for you. It's going to be, you take this on, but I'm still going to be checking up on you. Hey, how's week 1? How's week 2? How are you doing week 3? Okay. I want to hear your feedback. But not only that, every single week we have long form Reiki videos because I know you guys love Reiki. That's a lot of the part of why you guys have been attracted to me and my teachings, is because you like Reiki. So every single week, Reiki for the physical body, Reiki for the emotional body, Reiki for the mental body, Reiki for the spiritual body. Moving on to group coaching. Group coaching starts January 15th. So soon. So soon. Group coaching feels a little bit like what we're doing right now, but it's directly designed to give you every single resource and tool that I have learned through my own experience, my Reiki training, and my shamanic apprenticeship, where you are going to get to learn how to use the magnetic medicine of the earth and the electric medicine of the divine to bring your body into balance, where you feel like you're living in your purpose. You are actively breaking cycles, and I'm there with you to show you, hey, this is a cycle that you're unaware of. How can you bring awareness to it and actively break it, right? If you're looking to have breakthroughs and success when it comes to your health, your wealth, and your relationships, and you want to be held accountable for 3 whole months and get the most effective energy healing techniques that you can implement every single day while you're in a community experience where other people are here with you, rocking with you, that's going to be the group community or the group coaching that I have 3 months. It's called Master Your Energy. I have the same thing as one-on-ones, but right now I want to make sure that I'm engaging with the community first and filling up the community spots first. That starts January 15th. And if you want more information about that and you want more price details on that, I have payment plans available for both to help you guys out just a little bit more. You reach out to me after this live stream, okay? I love you guys very much, and I will see you in the next live. Bye.